The Sausage King. Once per round, he can use a chicken or steak craving card as a sausage craving card. So essentially, if he's in a combat, he can use one of these other two cards just like he would a wild card for one round. This might be just enough to win the battle. For Grill Master Gary, once per round, move the first meat sweat attack card played on you immediately to your personal discard pile. Essentially, once per round, Grill Master Gary is immune to the meat sweats. Grill Mistress Gale. She gets to position her carnivore card between two adjacent grill cards. So rather than having to choose one spot or another, Gale can place herself in between two that are right next to each other. And after everybody plays their secret card, during the reveal phase where she flips her card over, that's where she gets to select one of the grill spots and stay there for the rest of the round. Richard. Once per game, Richard can score a grill card from the grill before the craving cards are even played. So essentially, Richard skips ahead of everybody, finds a desirable piece of meat, and scores it to his personal pile, and still gets to play in that same round. This power can only be used once per game. Once it's used, flip the power over to the backside. Butters, at the end of the game, adds 3 additional points per pair of steaks that he's collected throughout the game. So if there's a pair, you add up the points in the back, so this would be 9. He would also get an additional 3 points because there's a pair of steaks. This happens for any pairs that he has. So if he has 2 steaks, he gets 3 points. If he has 4 steaks, he gets 6 points. There's no limit besides the amount of cards he's collected at the end of the game. Sweaty Betty's superpower is the ability to brush away the meat sweats simply by consuming more meat. So rather than having to play a towel defense card, or if Sweaty Betty's simply out of the towel defense card, she can consume any 2 meats from her hand to use as a towel defense card. This immediately removes these cards to her personal discard pile. There is no limit to the amount of times Sweaty Betty can use this feat during her turn as long as she has extra cards to play. Lefty has the power to use any steak craving card as a card that can crave for chicken or sausage or steak. So essentially, Lefty's not a big fan of steak. He'll eat it if he has to. So he can use this card once per round as a wild card to take steak or chicken if he desires. Agent Abby, Meat Sweat's own secret spy, can reposition herself once per round to any uncontested grill card. This can happen after all the player cards have been locked in, or even after the phase where everybody plays their craving cards. She could move around at any point in time. Once she uses her power, be sure to flip the card over to the muted color side to let everybody at the table know your power's done for this round. Captain One Eye. Once per round, the captain may swap any scored grill card with a blind draw from the deck. It doesn't have to be the one that he won this round. So if he's got some chicken laying around in his score pile and he wants to try to upgrade those point values, once per round, at any time he can simply draw. He could upgrade, he could downgrade, but this now replaces the card. The card that he had before goes in the discard or burnt pile. Shorty O'Shire. Once per game, Shorty can pick up his personal discard pile at any time. So if he's in a heated combat and he needs that one extra card he's already played, all you have to do is make sure that after you use Shorty's power, it's a once per game. Turn it over to the faded side for the remainder of the game. Ella's power is an endgame scoring condition. All grill cards collected by Ella during the game are worth 3 points at the end of the game. So ignore the point values on the back of Ella's cards. They're all worth 3 points. Ella's just happy to get any meat. Morgan is Meat Sweat's own non-player carnivore. Morgan's actually not ever played by a person, but remains around the grill, eating up all the unclaimed or burnt meats. So during the game, if there is meat that either has nobody claiming it that would normally go to the burnt pile, or meats that were never resolved that would normally go to the burnt pile, Morgan claims those in her little personal pile. There are 2 sides to Morgan's card. The first side triggers an endgame condition when Morgan collects 10 grilled meats. Might be better for a smaller player game, or in a larger player game, or to simply stretch the timeout, when Morgan claims 20 grilled meats. That triggers the endgame condition.